Good morning.
Hey, yo, what the?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of 10K TV, specifically the Wild Wednesday Hockey Edition. I am your stand-in host, Bossman, joined remotely as always by Veach and producer Sarge behind the camera. Boys, we're going to get into a lot today. You know, our stick taps, take a laps, go over the Wild's last three games, which have just been a fucking heater. We're going to at least give maybe a little preview of what's to come here in Nashville, but then most importantly, we have the Olympics, hockey specifically, starting tomorrow with the girls in Italy. And then we're gonna give Veach maybe a limited 5-minute countdown to talk about college hockey. We'll give you a separate amount of time to talk about Gavin McKenna because that's late breaking news. And then we'll do a wild take. How does that sound to you fellas?
Sounds great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, starting off the program as always with our stick tap. Something good that we want to give a stick tap. Could be hockey related, non-hockey related. Let's start with you, Veach, from where?
Maple Grove.
Maple Grove. Is that where you live?
Maple Grove.
I thought you
Yep.
lived in Edina.
I did for a while. I lived in North Bloomington for a while. Is how I'll categorize that.
I like it.
It's a better way to categorize it so I don't call you a fucking douchebag.
Well, TJ Oshie just revealed that he's been living in Edina for a year, and he was embarrassed to bring that up to his Warroad buddies, which
I saw that.
understandably so. Yeah.
I love how he said it too. He's like, "Oh yeah, we moved closer to my wife's family now." Which
Yeah.
if you're moving back to the Twin Cities, just say that. You don't have to say my wife's family. Okay.
Yeah, he hides with his North Dakota green and all the Edina stuff and tries to blend in that way. It was a good interview.
It's a good chameleon. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got this week?
Stick tap. I went with something that's more global. You know, hockey podcast. We're trying to bring the reach into areas that might not normally see it. So let's talk about something Spanish. Spanish oncologist Mario Barbacid. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm not Spanish. Never took Spanish. I was a German guy. Potentially solved pancreatic cancer, which is one of the most deadly forms of cancer. Yeah. So 95% fatality rate. Completely solved in rats, at least for now. Needs another 30 million euros for clinical trials in humans. So there's a little bit of crowdsourcing and funding, but I was shocked to hear how low 30 million sounded compared to basically the cost of everything else nowadays. I was like, this should be a no-brainer for everybody to fund this. So fingers crossed the guy gets his funding.
And the government hasn't killed him yet?
Apparently not. I
That's
will
happened to
say
everyone who's cured cancer.
I will say the U.S. He was working in the U.S. and went back to Spain where he ultimately solved this. So there might be something to that, and that might be why he's still alive.
Yeah, smart, I suppose. If you're gonna do that, just go do it in another country, just kind of like anything else.
Dude, just think about how fucking smart you have to be to figure this stuff out. My goodness.
I will say there are losers online making fun of him. He's got a birthmark or some type of additional deformity on his face or whatever. There's losers online making fun of him for that, and I'm like, you have to be such a low level, low IQ individual to not be able to see past that for somebody that is doing what might be the hardest thing that's ever been done. I cannot stress enough how much you suck. And I wish nothing but bad things to happen to you. And then people like Mario Barbacid, or however you pronounce his last name, not be there to help you, or choose not to help if you're being such a douchebag. So
Veach hopes they get pancreatic cancer and can't fucking cure it.
I didn't say that. I did
I'll
not say that.
I'll say it. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Fuck whoever makes fun of him. That is the most internet thing ever, though. Like, maybe a guy makes one of the greatest discoveries in human history to stop a disease that has killed at least one person everybody knows. And we're going to make fun of this guy for something he can't even control either. It'd be different if he wore a goofy hat. It's like, dude, you look stupid for wearing that hat. Can't control a birthmark.
Yeah. The guy, I love everything about him. For the 5-minute little blurb I read, so I guess, I don't know anything about him other than he's a genius.
Yep. Oh, yeah, stick taps to that guy. All right, Sarge, what do you got?
My stick taps are going to go to John Cooper and the Lightning staff for they're doing their best Tony Montana impression with those fucking awesome suits and hats on the bench for the Stadium Series game. And then smoking cigars after, too, which was badass. They looked fucking awesome. Please tell me you guys saw that.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw.
They all looked like kickers in the creamsicle jerseys. Seeing Kucherov dressed up as a football player was hilarious. He was clearly miserable being wearing all that.
But
I did not expect it to be that cold in Florida at this time of year. Like
Yeah.
I used to go down, when I was a kid, we would go down to Florida at some timeshare, I'm sure. And like in February, you would go down and it's just like, I might put on a sweatshirt when it's cold out. It looked like it was legitimately chilly there.
Colder in the Winter Classic, too.
Yeah.
Stadium Series. I think they fire off the cannon a couple times I saw? Have to
did.
do that.
Yeah.
Have to do that. Even though Columbus did it first in terms of hockey, but,
But yeah, get into your stick tap. Just cool outfits.
That was great. I was really confused with what Cooper was doing at first until I understood the context behind it, because he just looked like a typical Miami drug dealer from like the 20s, with the hat and everything. Also, though, huge that they ended up winning that game, because if he's dressed like that and the final ends up being 5-2, which is what it was, in the by the end of the first period. Real tough look when you got to address the boys in the locker room and spark some fire into the lineup while looking like that.
I will say, just regardless of how bad you think he looked or how goofy it was still better than his team looked. I think those jerseys were maybe the worst outdoor jerseys ever produced on both sides. And the numbers on the shoulders were as big as some numbers on the backs of other people's jerseys in the regular NHL. And I'm just like, what are we doing with these uniforms here? It is atrocious what they trotted out there for those types of special games, but whatever.
Yeah. If the Wild end up doing, I know they're rumored for another Stadium Series here in a few years or something like that. I think you just got to lean into the wheat color specifically.
Yeah.
Kind of like what Iowa does really well. All right. Well, I'm going to keep mine on the basis of hockey as well. I got two of them. Very fitting with what I'm wearing. My first one is the Netflix documentary, Miracle, The Boys of 80. I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch that.
Sure
What's
did.
up, Tom? Really good documentary. I mean, I've seen the full game on YouTube. I've seen the movie. I've seen the of Miracles and Men Russian documentary on ESPN Plus. But this one really delivered in the hour and a half it was. It was pretty much, without giving away the whole thing, a kind of a reunion per se of the entire team in Lake Placid, and they were in the arena kind of reminiscing, giving each other shit on the bench, and it went a lot more into like individual guys and their upbringings, and how Mikey Ruzioni was raised in a house of 19 other of his family members between 4 levels, which I did not. He said that so casually. I'm like, that is not a normal thing to be like,
No.
Oh, my uncle's upstairs, my aunt is downstairs, my cousins are all a stone throw away at any time. I guess it's a lot more convenient for holidays because it's like, oh, we're doing Thanksgiving downstairs this year,
That's a very like New Jersey Italian way to live.
Yeah, like it's a whole new definition of being family, is like we're going to live together. I didn't know this either until I heard it on Chicklets, but I guess a lot of that footage that had never been seen before had been in like a warehouse in Texas for the last, almost 40 years and just recently got discovered now.
I have a question. I have a legitimate question about that. This warehouse in Texas, did it also house a bunch of Minnesota North Star stuff? Because that sounds like something that they would have taken with them down there and just forgotten about because they don't give a shit about hockey down there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Or was this a time capsule that they forgot they put in there until
Buried it.
the 2026 without knowing that this would be the first year in a while we've had Best on Best. But really incredible documentary, man. I mean, to relive kind of the whole thing from their perspective, and they had videos of the parade after and the potties, as all the Bostonian massholes would call it. Jim Craig, everyone knows his story about his mom passing away, like really incredible how he talked about how his dad was just kind of a broken man at this point, and the gold medal and supporting Jimmy was like what brought him back to life. I mean, there are a lot of tears shed in it. You know, really disappointed not to see Neil Broughton in the documentary. I'm not sure why he never really made an appearance. I've heard through the grapevine he's a bit of an arsehole, but you know, maybe that would align to why he didn't do the documentary. Do you guys have any theories on that?
He was in it.
Not very much though.
Yeah.
He was in it for like one line.
Correct. Yep.
Sure.
So, I don't know. I also have kind of related to and final thing I'll say on the Boys of 80 is if you're looking to get a red-blooded erection going for America here in the upcoming Olympics for what hopes to be back-to-back gold medals, or when I say back-to-back, I mean a men's gold medal and a women's gold medal, which would obviously rock. This is the documentary to get you fired up for it. USA, baby. We're going to get into the Olympics, but if you're looking to get pumped up, get patriotic, man. This documentary is going to make you excited about it. Related to that, I have a wild-related stick tap. I have the Kremlin, the all-Russian line, firing at an impeccable speed right now. I think in their last 3 games, at least one of them has scored. Between Yurov, the young buck, Tarasenko just revitalizing his career after I said to put a fork in him and trade him back to St. Louis. I think I said that on this program. Humbly wrong on that.
Bad take.
Admittedly, horrible take. And Yakov Trenin not only leading the league in hits by 20 or so, but scoring really good goals. Like the goal he had against your Blackhawks, Sarge. We saw that one from behind him, and I mean that guy can snipe. So you know, got to give the shout out to our Russian boys. I mean, they don't get to play together in the Olympics, so keep them together on the team.
I gotta wonder, you know, during the Olympics, do the Russians that are in North America just kind of gather somewhere else and go play pond hockey and like hang out by themselves, or are they literally just hanging out alone at home watching it, being like, "Damn, I wish I was there"?
We've already talked about it on this show, but there's a report that Kaprizov for the Olympic break is going to be going to Colorado for high altitude training, which we've said means he's just going on a ski trip.
100%.
And so I don't know who are the other fellas from Russia. I was going to say Shesterkin, but he's injured. Maybe Kucherov. Maybe Ovi's the kind of guy who would probably just be like, I'm going to sit in the chalet and drink all day, and I'll just meet you guys.
Beers, yeah.
I'll just meet you guys when you're done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I would think maybe some of them might go on a vacation together or something, you know? Try to enjoy it.
For sure. Yeah. You got time. Why not?
All right, so on the flip side of stick taps, let's do Take a Lap. Veach, what do you got for us today?
Take a lap. Canada, eh? Tate McRae of Alberta fame has flipped a commitment, if you will, in terms of her rooting interest for the Olympics coming up as of was it today? There was a recent post on that.
Yeah, there was a very attractive ad of her wearing Team USA gear.
Yes. So some people are calling that the Hughes effect. You know, it's not just Quinn Hughes in Minnesota. It is, you know, a nationwide and North American wide phenomenon. So Team USA has taken her and everything that comes with her attention and brought it over. And, you know, it's going to come with a lot more eyes on the game for USA. And I love it. So Canada, take a lap.
Fuck yeah, dude. She's hot. Sarge.
Yes.
Sarge, what would you do to her?
Unforgivable things.
Oof. From the producer
was
himself.
A dangerous opening question.
No, I'm not surprised. I mean, she's built her career here in the States, right?
She's very talented.
Yes. Dude, crazy thing. I saw a TikTok on her, by the way. Apparently her mom, like, up until she was the age of 2, purposely would stretch her hips out because apparently if you want your kid to be a dancer or I guess a goalie, when their hips are developing the most is between, you know, their birth and the age of 2 is when their hips are being formed. And if you like, I don't know how you do this without it sounding like child abuse, but basically if you just stretch the shit out of your kids' hips until they're 2 years old, they're going to grow up being real flexible. So, you know, that's my unsolicited medical advice for the day.
I will say as a guy with a very small baby, 8 months, almost 9 months now, I don't know that their hips need to be stretched out. They're
you want to try it?
As this. No,
try it, report back. Hit him on camera. Let's try it.
No. I will say his flexibility. They go basically straight out right now. Anyway, he can sit in a really nice looking butterfly if he really wanted to. So I don't know whose kids are tight to the point where they need to be stretched out anyway. But whatever.
Maybe
She
you
must
gotta.
not have done that with her son because her son plays at Dartmouth and he's not a goalie.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And maybe you bend the kid's knee is all the way back to like his ass, so that then you're hit. Well, no, it's more of an exorcist type thing.
Yeah, I don't know what type of Jenga or twister you're imagining over there.
Yeah, my poor kid has to get a hip replacement by the age of 9 because his dad saw one reel of Tate McRae saying her mom stretched her hips out when she was a child. That's why she's such a good dancer. All right, Mr. Sargent, what do you got? Take a lap.
I got 2. So my first take a lap is to heavyweight boxer Gerald Big Baby Miller, who got his fucking toupee knocked off in his fight. I don't know if you guys saw this, but he took a wicked uppercut, and his toupee came flying off. Actually, he was still kind of hanging on by some of the glue, but he was a great sport about it. He goes back in the corner, rips it off, and throws it in the crowd.
Oh, my God.
And then a different boxer, her name's Sky Nicholson, total babe, Australian boxer. She's sick, but she ended up putting it on. But it was absolutely hilarious. He ended up winning the fight, so shout out to him. But his barber is in serious trouble. He paid $700 for that, only for it to get fucking knocked off during one of his fights. I've never seen anything like that. Like I'm a big boxing fan, so I was watching the fights, and I'm like, holy shit, I saw it live, and I could not believe my eyes.
I will say I'm shocked that he even went that route because most guys that are in boxing with his build and complexion, if you will, just shave the head. Like they go with the bald look, like almost like exclusively. So maybe there was somebody telling him he needed it. I think he's probably, after this incident, just got to embrace it and come on home, as Scott Van Pelt would say.
Yeah, and also, did you see, so once his toupee was off, did you see how much hair he had left? Like, I mean, we're talking like a centimeter's worth. So what is the point?
I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, you're just hanging on for dear life.
Yeah.
Do you think the guy in the crowd, if you're the guy in the crowd who catches that, do you put it in a case?
I don't know. It was all sweaty.
I think
it was in like the 4th round, I think.
You throw it in the trash on the way out?
Well, I mean, Sky put it on her head, dude. Like, which is so fucking funny. She's awesome. But dude, never seen anything like it. Never will see anything like that. But yeah, take a lap, Big Baby. My second one, guys, another reffing story. Take a lap to the fucking mom who waited for me and my ref partner to tell us we did a bad job in a B2 squirt game reffing. Waited outside of the ref locker room to tell us that we did a crappy job. Thanks, Mom. Take a fucking lap. Grow the fuck up. These parents, guys, are insane. B2 Pee-wee, squirts, guys. It
sounds
just
like my mom.
unfucking believable. The penalties were 3-3, by the way. Even
that's not bad at all.
No, 3 penalties a game. All like trippings or whatever. I will say hand up. A lot of the reffing partners we kind of let some physicality go. We call it competitive contact, and
there you go.
And it's, these guys are not good. They're B2 squirt guys. That's like pretty much the second worst, like for that age group. They fall down all the time, but I thought this mom was kidding, and then I laughed, and then
what did she say like out of the gate?
So she's like, wow, here comes the crappy refs. And we're like, okay. But she waited. So I don't know if you guys been to the Super Inc., but in the main Super Inc., the reffing rooms are in the middle of all the rinks. And she was standing outside of our door and then just waited for us to tell us that we did a bad job. I'm just like, wow.
You should have given her a penalty for that.
No, I told her to go report us. I was like, all right, go take it up with District 10.
Yeah.
I'm ref 237. Take it up. It's just like, you have to be such a loser, guys, to do that. Just ridiculous.
A bigger loser than the people who are making fun of the guy who cured cancer, though?
No.
Okay.
No, absolutely not.
Just trying to benchmark that.
But yeah, I'm a big boy. I can handle it, but I was just like, wow, that is
You're going to
ridiculous.
have to get business cards made and say, file a complaint here.
Seriously. No, I haven't had too much. This is like a first for sure. Like I've definitely had, the parents yell, bad call, whatever. That's fine. Coaches, same thing.
Kevin Dubnik.
Yeah, Dubnik screaming at me for a totally legitimate penalty, but whatever. But this was just ridiculous, especially at this level. Like, I don't know. Take a lap, bitch.
Okay. I have the Milwaukee Bucks for drumming up all of this nonsense around Giannis, and now reports are coming out that he just might not get traded at all, and they were just doing this to see what they could get for him. This whole thing with the Wolves, they cleared cap space with Mike Connolly just to get him back, maybe, I saw, because he's been traded now more than once. He got traded from the Wolves to the Bulls, and then from the Bulls to the Wizards. Did I see?
That would be shocking to me if the Wizards, because they just acquired like 3 other starters.
I don't know what's
and
going
the Wizards
on.
being stacked right now.
I just know that we can get Mike Connolly back now, and people are saying it'd be the most Timberwolves thing of all time to clear all this space for the Bucks to be like, we're not going to trade Giannis, and then for us to get Connolly back and say, oops, sorry. So I don't really know what's going on there.
Not a basketball guy. Where did Harden end up?
He ended up at Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh,
And I did see NBA Central was early on it that he's already requested a trade from Cleveland. So, obviously tough sledding there in the first few hours of.
at this point, it's just 3 years early because it seems like a cycle. It's just like, oh well, I get bored and then I've run out of strip clubs to go to, and I just need to trade and go somewhere else.
Is he trying to get on every team at this point?
He might be.
Because this is how many teams now? Is this like 7? Golden State, OKC, Houston, Philly, Clippers, Cavaliers now. Is that 6? I think it's at least 6. There might be a 7th in there that I'm forgetting. I don't know.
Don't care.
Don't really care. That's your basketball talk. My second one is the fans trying to criticize Quinn Hughes' defensive play. I saw a little bit of back and forth going on in the
Danksy.
10K Takes Discord, but I get that he's not the most shutdown sound defender. The guy has already tied the franchise record for defensemen with 3+ point games, and he's played 3% of the games that Ryan Suter has played.
So I'm glad you brought this up. Sorry to interrupt, Veach, but I sent this to a bunch of my Wild buddies because I saw this on Instagram. But Minnesota's offense before and after Quinn Hughes' debut. So before, 25th in goals per game and 10th in the power play. 10th power play is pretty damn good. Well, after, 3rd in goals and 2nd in power play percentage. That's worth it.
Oh,
I would deal with the defense.
It's funny you mentioned that. I had that same exact graphic screenshotted. So I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, he's not only doing that, like he's elevating everyone else's play. He's clearly elevating Brock Faber's play, dude. Look at how Faber's been. He's on track to score 20 goals this year.
Yeah.
Fuck, he could he could play defense like John Merrill, and I couldn't care less as long as he's putting up 3 apples.
Let's not get crazy.
3 apples.
Let's not get crazy.
David Jiricek.
Well, maybe one step above that. But what you had said there, tied with Ryan Suter for the most 3 or more assist games by a Minnesota defenseman in Wild history. Suter took 656 games to get there. Maybe he didn't take that, but he played 656 games. Hughes has played 25.
Insane.
So, I'm pretty sure Quinn doesn't even have a house here yet. He's still living in a hotel probably, and he's already broken that. It's crazy.
If he's buying a house, I'll tell you right now, it takes longer than that to get to closing. So
yeah. So there's no way he unless he moved in with someone, which is likely. He's probably living in Billy's fucking basement, dude. I've been to that basement. He's got like that basement can sleep like 10 people. So wouldn't be surprised if him and all the other short-term bring-in type guys are living there. But yeah, let's just get into last 3 games, man. I mean, 4-1 over the Flames last Thursday. I think that was what felt like the first game since Christmas that the Wild weren't in overtime for. It was like a good, clean, win.
Yeah, it was a good one. The goals for Mini were Yurov, Hinostroza, Boldy, and then Kaprizov, I think, got the last one.
Yeah.
And the one that stands out to me as the beauty, if you will, or like what is really fun about the Wild this year is you've got a guy like Middleton throwing an absolute saucer pass. Was that Hinostroza's goal?
Yeah.
Catches it,
Caught it
on the
in
blue line.
stride, dropped it right on his own tape, and buried it
Yeah.
in the left corner. It was sick.
It was incredible, and the best 20-yard pass you saw out of anybody in Minnesota this year.
I have a question for you. Correct. I like that. Good one. I have a question for you, Veach. If someone showed you that play, but blurred out the guy on defense who passed it, and you had to guess who perfectly executed that Hail Mary saucer, where would Middleton have fallen on the list of people that you would guess were the ones that did that?
If we're being honest, probably 5. 'Cause I would
Exactly.
I would put Hughes and Faber up there. I would probably throw
Spurgeon.
It's tough to say.
Spurgeon's got good
yeah.
hands.
Spurgeon
Brodeen.
does have good hands.
Not
Brodeen would
Jiricek,
be 3,
'cause
and
he
then
doesn't know how to play the
Spurgeon.
position.
And
Yep.
then you get into like a big group of guys on there where Middleton is probably just as good as the rest.
I mean, dude, what a pass! Like,
Yeah.
and a catch by Hinostroza to perfectly catch it, drop it.
Stay on sides too.
I mean, that was one of those plays that happened where it just leaves you speechless. Like, did that just
There's-
fucking happen between Jake Middleton and Vinny Hinostroza of all players?
I was watching it with a couple of people that just kind of loosely follow hockey, and they're like, "Can he do that?" It looks like he like carries it across the blue line and just drops it to himself. Like, yeah, you can. You just never see it. It's
Right.
great.
Yep. Kirill Kaprizov, our empty net merchant, burying one at the end there. Boldy
Yeah.
had a really nice goal to not bring it into overtime because there was a part where you thought it was going to happen again. I think, dude, heading into that game, 10 of 19 games they went to overtime, or 10 of 17 at that time, which is
Yep.
bananas. To have
Crazy.
is crazy. So we had that game, and then we had Saturday night's electric contest, 7-2 over the Oilers. We're 3-0 on the defending Western Conference champs this season. I mean, fucking everybody scores. It was a Pitlick game. It was a Tyler Pitlick
Pitty!
game.
Fucking right, Spitty.
Yeah,
When you say everybody scores, you mean it, because there were 15 players on the Minnesota Wild that had a point that night, and that includes Wally, who had a 40 save game as well.
Yep. Quinn Hughes had a great goal. Faber had a nice one. I mean, Kirill scored. Boldy, Eriksson was at no, that was Monday night's game on the first shot, which we'll get to. But anytime you play Edmonton, you never really know what's going to happen, especially when as early as it happened in the game where they go on the power play. You're like, all right, we're going to be down one rip pretty quickly here. And not only do you kill that, but, to just put up 7 goals. I was actually watching it at the Turtle Lake Casino, and there was a drunk guy in the front of the sportsbook who was screaming because he had the Wild over 6.5. Only at a sportsbook do you see someone...
Time out. He had the Wild alone over 6.5.
Yeah, he must have live
That's
betted it.
crazy.
I think he live betted after 2 or something. So at that point,
Okay,
it was like
okay,
4-2. But still, like, to see a grown man who is rooting for the Wild, mind you,
Yeah.
scream with 2 minutes left, and it's 6-2 for someone to shoot the puck is maybe one of the funniest things you see. But sports books are a different world.
Yeah, 100%. The Wild own Edmonton, for those that don't know, just in terms of recent history anyway. I've got Russo's tweet up here after the game, and he was kind of making a summary. 66 wins. Of that, 32 road wins against the Oilers are their most versus any team. They're 14-4 in their past 18 versus the Oilers, and 38-13-1 versus Edmonton since 2010-2011. So in the last 10 years, 15 years, 38-13-1. Incredible. And on the road in Edmonton, they're 21-5. So it's just like every time you play them, yes, they've got 2 of the 10 best hockey players on the forward side or offensive side of the puck in the world. Doesn't matter. The Wild just find a way to beat them.
All those stats would be so much better if, we had even made it to the Western Conference Finals since the inception of the team. That's the counter argument. They've been to back-to-back cups. We haven't even been there, but it is still a fun stat.
You're right. I would rather go to the cup and lose than not be there. But I'll take wins. Wins are wins.
Yes.
I'll take when I can get them.
Also, dude, was their goalie swap experiment a failure? Because Skinner's tearing it up in
100%.
Pittsburgh, and Jari
100%.
is looking like me on Thursday nights. I mean, I'm pretty sure that 7 range is what I'm familiar with. So, like, they basically have a beer leaguer in net.
The defensive scheme there they play must be atrocious because it doesn't seem to matter who is in net there. Not that Jari was a step up from Skinner to begin with,
Yeah.
but like they need to figure something else out because whoever they put in is not making a difference whatsoever.
Also, Bouchard has the defensive ability of my beer league team because
We don't know that. He just doesn't put in any effort,
I
so
don't
we
think
can't tell you what his ability is.
like I'm so sick of hearing boosh bomb. The guy doesn't even know how to play defense. All right, maybe
Yeah.
he does know, he just doesn't try. Like the goal against Faber, he watched him like a cuck in a hotel in the corner
Dude,
chair.
he's had full face towards the boards, absolutely no effort to even turn around. Faber just cuts inside. It's like a high school play. Not even. It's like a Pee Wee B2 play.
Yeah.
Sarge, if I was an Edmonton fan, I would want to see how fast we can run him out of town because it doesn't matter how many points you score or how many boosh bombs you put in the net. If your ceiling defensively is David Jiricek, then it might be time to have a conversation about, all the money you're paying him. God. I mean, dude.
I agree.
I'm not even an Oilers fan, and I'm like, I don't know how they can just sit by and continue to watch that. Moving on, a game I attended on Monday night, sicker than a dog, which you can still hear in my voice. I did get Zooch sick at the game, by the way, so mission accomplished. That's when we shared a passionate kiss after the win in overtime, according to Sarge. I'm just jumping all over the place right
I
now.
love it. You're thinking like I'm
Yeah,
thinking
that
right
was
now.
that was a
4-3
game
win
that
over
was-
Montreal. In overtime. Fucking
Right, it
overtime
was-
again.
Our top performers are performing well again, and that's when we need them to. It was Ek basically right away, right off the bat. Kaprizov, Faber, and then Kaprizov in overtime again. And if you took out the first minute and last minute of the game, the Wild wouldn't have needed overtime. It would have been 3-0. But the fact that they couldn't close out period 1 or 2 and couldn't start period 3.
Oh no, we lost Veach.
Oh, no.
All right. Well, I'm gonna send him another thing here.
We're still live?
Yeah, we're still live.
All right, let's get some questions going in the chat. I'll carry the conversation. He's right though. If there was less than 1 minute left, he's
All right,
back.
we got him back.
Yeah, I'll catch the torch here, Veach. If you
Yeah,
take out
please.
the last minute of every period, we win that game cleanly, like 4-1, 3-1 in reg.
Yep,
So
exactly.
yeah. So going ahead into the break here, we have one more game against Smashville tonight. A team whose general manager just randomly stepped down on Monday. A little weird drama there. But one more game, and then it's time to go to break. So I think if they can, play a solid one tonight, they're looking pretty good heading down the final stretch of the season.
Yeah, as of I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, there was a stat. The Wild are a perfect 25-0-0 when obtaining a multi-goal lead this season. So I interpreted that as 2 or more goals. That's how the English language works.
Yep.
The only other teams that had that or could boast a perfect record when they were up at least 2 were the Avs, Boston, and Seattle. And Boston, after their horrendous failure in the Stadium Series, I think they were up. Was it 5-1 or 5-2?
They had a 4-goal
Doesn't
lead.
matter.
Yeah, it was 5-1.
Yeah,
at
4-goal
one point.
lead. They came back and lost. So now only the Avs and Seattle, asterisk, I haven't checked this, are the teams that can say that they're perfect on the season. So the East doesn't know how to play hockey anymore. Everybody's moving out west. Panarin moving out west. And that's where, if you want to watch good games, that's where you got to go.
Yep. Yeah, the East is so bizarre. I mean, Florida is at risk of not even making it. Toronto is not looking like they're going to make it. The Devils are hilarious. The fact that people thought that Quinn Hughes would leave Minnesota as a rental to become a Devil is so funny in hindsight. Now it's like, at what point do we go after Jack?
Yeah.
Way more of a favorable target. But the West is best, and of course that's the conference we're in. At this point, it's just a collision course to Dallas. It's who's just going to get home ice is really what it's going to come down to.
I know we brought this up. I don't remember if you were on the episode or not. I want to go back to the time where it didn't matter which conference you were in, the seeds were just what the seeds were in from top to bottom, 1 through 16, if you want to make it that still, in the NHL, and that would give you the potential for an all Western finals. It would give you potential for some really good rivalry series in that the Stanley Cup series. At this point, and Biz mentioned this as well, it was just like during a cup year, reduce the number of games and then just change your overall playoff format. A lot of people don't like that for a lot of good reasons as well. But when you've got this many good teams in one division, it's just a brutal watch to see them eliminated. At least 2 of those teams going to be eliminated by the time you get to the conference finals. And I think that's going to be a big sticking point in owners meetings and maybe some collective bargaining agreements that are going forward as well. I think we're going to see changes on that soon.
Well, yeah, this year's example is the worst. I mean, and Ty put it in the Twitch chat that the Metro is awful. I mean, you have the Metro, that is just brutal, and then you have the West, which is just stacked. So I think there definitely needs to be some sort of change there. But before we get into college and the Olympics, you got any early deadline predictions? I mean, people kind of thought that this Olympic freeze that happens, I believe, that already happened today, or is it tomorrow? I don't even remember.
It's not today because Panarin got traded today, didn't he?
That's a good point. Yeah, well, I thought it might have been at 2. Maybe it's tomorrow at 2.
Oh, sure.
Is when the Olympic lockout starts. But who else do you think is moving at the deadline, specifically here?
So, to the Wild, I would love to see a center, obviously.
Yeah.
We're not going to get Tage Thompson. We're not going to get who's the kid in Philly?
Oh, Michkov?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's
Would
fat.
love it.
He's fat, apparently. That's
wow.
Out of shape.
That's just when you want to leave Philly, you just get fat. It's the James Harden routine, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, no, he's fat in Philly. He showed up to camp.
That's what I was saying. He was fat in Philly, or did James Harden get fat to go to Philly?
Well, James Harden shows up fat every year.
I forgot if that was the Sixers or if that was the Clippers.
That's a better tradition than Pat Mahomes Sr. getting arrested Super Bowl week, because we kicked off Super Bowl week with that yesterday as well. Pat Mahomes Sr.
Yeah.
Breach of probation.
Oh,
one of his 4 DUIs. I would like Trocheck. Trocheck would be good.
Okay.
The Ryan O'Reilly thing is interesting now that they don't have a GM to trade him.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they just end up fire sailing here at the deadline. Those are probably the 2 best options I can think of. I've seen some other ones that I don't think would really move the needle or be worth it, so who knows.
Yeah, I know we had talked about O'Reilly before, and I would like to get your thought on this. He is a bona fide, can play as a number 1 center. I think there's really no doubts about his track record there. The one problem that I had with it was I don't know that he has the speed to keep up with that top line and make him effective outside of the a power play where you're just trying to win faceoffs, or PK where you're just needing to win faceoffs. That's where a guy like that is, kind of invaluable. I don't know if that's the right word or not.
Yeah.
But he kind of pays for himself if you're just winning faceoffs. But I don't know that he's got the speed to keep up with them from an offensive standpoint in 5-on-5 play.
What about confidence issues? He said early in the year in an interview that he sucked. He said, I can't even catch a pass.
I think that's just starting, and it has a lot to do with the level of talent that he's playing with. Are the passes where they're supposed to be, or are the passes in his skates when he's going down there? I don't know.
I don't get how that roster, the way it was constructed, didn't work. Like
there's only one puck. You can't have, and they've got maybe the best center depth in the NHL. They're not out there together. They don't play together.
Right.
So,
and you can't build a super team in hockey and expect it to work. I guess the closest thing to that was Florida last year.
Avalanche.
Or the Avalanche. I swear to God, dude, the Avalanche shouldn't be allowed to make any moves at the deadline, because I've heard of them going after some people, and that would just basically bury the rest of the season for everybody else.
The Avs feel so much like the Oklahoma City Thunder
who just acquired someone else as well.
Yeah. It's just like, what are you doing? Like, you can't keep taking everybody. I get that you had so many picks and so much draft capital and so much like tradable leverage, but like At what point is it diminishing returns?
At what point is it a monopoly,
Yeah.
an oligopoly, whatever, multiple? Yeah, I don't know, something like that.
You say
All right.
oligopoly?
I did say oligopoly. That's multiple brands leading the industry, right, Sarge?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Sarge knows ball. All right. Do you want to do the college thing now? I'm putting you on a fucking timer.
Fuck. I was gonna say.
Oh, we're gonna do Olympics?
Yeah, because
Let's do Olympics. Yeah.
Let's rip Olympics quick.
Let's
if
rip
I get cut
Olympics.
off, it's just tradition at this point.
Yes. You know, I don't have too much. I think everyone knows, you know, what the goal is this year in the Olympics. I mean, 2 gold medals would be awesome, men's and women's. I think it'll be a lot harder. It seems like the women's, they have the most dominant team. It's going to be like them in Canada. Whereas the men's there's a couple players in the ring. I guess where do you want to start, Veach?
We can start with the women's side because I do think it is just Canada, USA, and then everybody else. And if it's anybody other than those 2 teams in the gold medal game, it's a shock to everybody that follows women's hockey. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, agree. I mean,
Agreed.
You never really know what can happen, but in terms of, the powerhouses, I mean, Finland, Sweden will probably put up a little bit of a fight, but for the most part, it's always USA, Canada when it comes to women's.
Yeah. I would expect. I'm trying to predict a score here, and when you're not privy to as much international play on the women's side, or you don't follow it as much, it's harder for me to say who is going to be able to gel with one another, like who has played with each other more. Which leads me to believe that the U.S. style of play is going to be easier to transition to international play because so many of them do play in the U.S. style. So I think that the Team USA does have an advantage there, albeit pretty small. But I'm going to give it to them in a gold medal game. They're going to win 4-2.
I like it. I like it with an empty netter by Taylor Heisey.
Yes.
Or Grace Zumwinkle. Those two will most likely play together and will be heavy contributors right now. Right here and now. That first game is on at 10:40 a.m. tomorrow morning, I think. They got
early.
They got Czechia.
Oh.
Kind of.
Well, we don't have to be afraid of them. Canada does.
Right. No shit. Yeah. Or the Penn State PD. Canada's afraid of. That took me a while to get there. So then on the men's side, man, it's like you can't say USA, Canada. I mean, Sweden is always
Sweden
good.
And Finland. I'll put both of them up there right now.
Finland's frisky. Germany's going to have Nico Sturm, so look out for that. Leon.
I mean, Barkov being out for Finland is massive.
That's big.
That's really, really big. But, yeah, this is definitely not like an easy road to the gold medal game at all for the U.S., I would say.
Sweden goaltending runs through Minnesota.
Honestly, that's true. I think Gus will probably start all of their games. Maybe, right? Or you think Wally's going to get some?
Wally might get one. Maybe like the third pool play game.
In the round robin?
Something like that. I don't know. So they're not even – is Markstrom like the third guy or is he hurt? Like what's the deal with him? I thought he was a shoo-in for the second guy, and then they're like, surprise, it's Wally. It was
exactly.
It was kind of a shocker when Wally got the spot. So I don't know what's going on there.
I think it's just because Wally's been having such a good year most nights when he's starting, and it's just like you kind of have to give the nod to the guy that's winning.
Stick to the young gun, the hot hand. And then when it comes to the U.S., obviously there was a lot of controversy around, leaving Robo off the team, leaving Caulfield off the team, but we've said it before. Billy G picked you got to pick the right players, not the best players.
Having Caulfield in the building for the Minnesota Wild's Olympic send-off was diabolical.
Tough. Very tough for Caulfield. They should have at least have given him a participation medal for that.
Well, Hudson too, right?
Yeah, Lane Hudson as well. Yeah, he was. Yeah. I wouldn't say he was as big of a snub as Caulfield, but I mean, you could definitely throw him in the mix. I think the only way you're going to get past Canada with all the skill they have is, A, the physicality of the U.S. team. That's obviously what what Billy is building towards, bringing guys like JT Miller and Trocheck in there over
No, who is his latest ad? The one that just happened like 2 weeks ago.
Jackson Lacombe on defense. But
That's
because
that was a head scratcher to me personally. And I'm not a guy that likes to criticize Billy, friend of the program.
Yeah.
Love what he does with the Wild, whatever. The Jackson Lacombe ad was crazy.
I think he had Jake in his ear as a diehard Gopher hockey fan.
Yeah.
I mean, Adam Fox is hurt, right? So because people were saying he got snubbed, and it's like the guy's not even playing for the Rangers right now. So,
right.
Keep that in mind. Sarge's boy Seth Jones is hurt, so
fuck that guy.
Yep. So now they put in Lacombe. So what do you think the pairings are going to be like? Hughes, Faber, Werenski.
I think you have to keep those two together, just given how they're already playing right now. But
yeah. Werenski, Slavin, is that what they did last time?
I think so.
Yeah. And
that was their top line last time. So you think Hughes and Faber take 2?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I think they're number 1, dude.
It is just weird to think of these names we're saying, and then Jackson Lacombe just chilling there. It's like the dragon meme where the one's goofy.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling about that.
Well, let's just see what he does on the ice. He could surprise us. Like I can't say I watch a whole lot of him. Like,
to be fair, no one's watching a lot of Anaheim hockey ever. No. So
yeah,
because it's on at 9:00 at night. So he'll probably surprise us. There's probably a lot we haven't seen.
That's fair. And some people are just better in international play for whatever reason.
Yeah. So importantly though, we need Hellebuck to play out of his mind.
Yes.
Which he has not done in a tournament or playoff format yet, which is always scary. I mean, he was decent in Four Nations, but not, like a dog like Bennington was last year. But also Canada's goaltending is not great either.
You talk about guys that have just kind of shied away from the spotlight when it comes and shines on them. What's Austin Matthews going to do this year? Because every single playoff, every single Olympics, every single international showcase, he's nowhere to be found. So I'm looking for him to kind of shut some people up and actually produce. But we'll see if he can actually do that this time around.
Fuck. Speaking of guys who just need to rip the Band-Aid and shave the head.
Yeah, seriously.
Maybe that's what he should do. Maybe he should just go bald for the Olympics and see if that ignites a spark in the boys,
Well, yeah, just do what the guys in Minnesota do for the high school hockey tournament. Just go crazy with the hair. Go straight George Costanza, shave the horseshoe in there,
or shave the whole head and put on earrings and call yourself White Jordan.
That's one way, I guess.
Fucking
that's
rock.
a path.
American hero Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I just obviously hope for the best. It all comes down to quarterfinals, semifinals, all that stuff. I think our pool is, at least in men's, is it Germany? I haven't even fucking looked who we got. Here, I'll look right now. I got it on the calendar.
Well, I think Canada men also open up with Czechia, which is
yes, on the men's side. Yeah, so we have Latvia,
okay,
fast rising hockey program. And then we have Denmark. And then Germany. We got to look out for Nico Sturm.
Wow, that's a killer group right there.
So
every time I used to curl a lot, and every time I was in one of the curling rinks, I would see that maroon flag with the one white stripe across it, and I could never remember who it was. And then every time the Olympics come around, I'm like, oh, Latvia, duh. Yeah. And that's the only time I ever see it is hockey or curling. You never see it anywhere else. Maybe like Nordic skiing.
Dude, we should make a video of where is Latvia, because I have no fucking idea.
I don't either. I just refer to that entire area of the Earth Borat territory. Like Borat is originates somewhere near there, one of the Istans, one of the many Istans.
Sure.
Kind of
it's
close to the Russian,
close
USSR. All that kind of just blends together in an area that I would choose not to spend my spring break at. All right, Veach, I'm going to give you the floor to talk a little bit of college puck. You have 5 minutes.
Okay, let's blend Olympics into college here. I would be remiss not to mention UMD's Adam Guyon, going to be playing for Slovakia. So he will be leaving. UMD and playing for Slovakia in the Olympics. Now, when I say that, probably behind Yaroslav Halak, but maybe not. We'll see. So props to him. Shout out to him. I think that's, a great honor. There's not many Canadian players who are going to get the chance to do that. A lot of them do get to do it for, World Juniors and whatnot, but the actual Olympics, pretty rare. So happy for him. Being a UMD guy, have to shout him out. But the biggest news right now in college hockey kind of broke probably 20 minutes before we started recording here. Gavin McKenna, who was supposed to go number 1 overall, allegedly, which I never agreed with, is now being charged with felony aggravated assault.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Pretty big news. One way to tank your draft stock, I guess, or depending on which owner you have, maybe it is going to improve his draft stock. We'll see how that pans out.
He saw how good defensemen have it in Minnesota and knew that he would never fall that far. So he's just going to trying to tank his stock so he can get a spot on that second line. Well, he's not even a defenseman. Never mind.
Not a defenseman. In fact, notoriously really bad at playing defense.
Okay, well, so there you go. So he's going to get elevated by our defenseman and also learn how to score. It's because every time I hear first overall, I think of Keaton Verhoff because I think he's going
I was going to say Keaton Verhoff is going up. His draft stock is rising for everybody. He probably might go first overall. He'll be top 3 pick no matter what, like almost guaranteed at this point. Allegedly broke the jaw of a kid who was chirping him as he was leaving the Doggies pub on Saturday, and that was after their outdoor game loss to Michigan State.
Charlie Schrammel. Our guy had a hat trick.
He's looking great.
He's looking like a perfect trade chip at the deadline.
That's what I was just going to say. That is the Minnesota Wild's probably last big trade chip. And based on, Isaac Howard and other high-end prospects coming out of Michigan State and how they've fared, might be worth getting rid of him. We'll find out. For those that don't know, felony aggravated assault comes with a potential for a 20-year maximum in prison. He won't.
What?
But
no, it's all right. He's got a gold chain he used to pay with his NIL money. He'll just pawn that and they'll pay off a fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say all of that NIL money that he earned from the Chicklets when they signed him to that deal is going to pay for legal fees now. So,
Beach, remember when
a
couple weeks ago when it was me and you on, and I asked you if he was a little bitch boy, and you said he kind of is.
Oh, he is
confirmed.
Confirmed. Like when you're wearing a bubble and a chain, and like you just have this smug aura about you,
and you're punching guys at the bar.
And here's the thing. It is very, very funny to hear about a 17-year-old breaking somebody's jaw at the bar. Like all 3 of those things together is a tough look for whoever that was. But on the other end, his teammates were posting the McGregor and other MMA gifs on his latest Instagram post. So it doesn't seem like any of them seem to be taking it too seriously.
Yeah, even though those are probably the guys who were like, hey, let's bring you to a bar. That's really good for your career. And also, Sarge and I were talking about this. The bar was called Doggies.
Yeah.
First off, hilarious name. Second off, bad look for them to be letting in maybe the most notorious 17-year-old in the United States. So, very willingly knowing he's very publicly 17 years old.
Correct.
And you let him in.
I will say the story that I read say it was as he was being asked to leave. Now, I don't know if it was because there was already some altercation or, incident happening, or if it was because, hey, why is Gavin McKenna here? He's 17. We got to get him out of the bar.
We Google that one. He's 17.
But yeah, long story short, it's an awful lot of work just to avoid being drafted by the Canucks.
Yeah, I'd rather take this path, no doubt.
But yeah, so we already talked about Michigan State sweep of Penn State. We already talked about their outdoor game. I do want to give a little footnote here. 74,000 fans in attendance there.
Incredible.
Pretty good for a college hockey game. You still didn't hear about it on any of the national channels, which is insane to me.
And Penn State was like a club team only 15 years ago or something like that. Like their college team hasn't been around that long, and they were able to pull this off in less than 2 decades.
Honestly.
with the split of the Big Ten is kind of when Penn State made that jump up to D1. They did get $80 million from a donor to kind of build their facilities and kind of invigorate some life into their hockey program. They had some minor success before, but they've only been like a real contender the last 3 years, I would say. And even then, they suck in the Big Ten. They have the most cupcake schedule, including this year in their non-conference play, build up, this incredible record, get all these accolades, and then they just kind of ride it out into the playoffs. So
yeah,
it is what it is. Other things that were worth mentioning last weekend: Minnesota sweeps Wisconsin. Wisconsin was at the time, I think, either 7 or 8 in the country. Minnesota is down at like 30. So that's huge for the Gophers. Really tough for Wisconsin. Wisconsin has not won a Big Ten game in the year 2026. We are now into February.
Love that stat.
So that's tough. Denver swept UMD, only got 5 of 6 points. UMD has been swept 2 weekends in a row, got 1 point from each of them against Western and Denver. Tough for UMD, but they're also, those 3 teams will all be in the playoffs. I think they're still 7 in the NPI just because they've got the second hardest strength of schedule this year.
About to get swept by my North Dakota Fighting Hawks.
Here's the thing. I would love to disagree with you.
Oh, we lost him again.
Oh, no. All I heard is that he doesn't disagree with me. So by the way, this is what was happening when we had Taylor on the interview.
Yeah, this is.
So yeah, you disagree, and that's that, right? Or you don't disagree.
Are we still live? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, we're live, buddy.
Yeah, I do disagree. However, I have to admit North Dakota has owned UMD at Amsoil as of late. I think they won 7 of the last 8 in that building. Adam Guyon, who won't be there, has had a really tough go. I don't know if he has a win against North Dakota. I would have to double check that one. But it's big time for, Dahlmeyer or one of the other big guys to make a name for themselves in that series. I think, Max Plant and Zam Plant and Shagabe was even on the second line on the second game last weekend. Had some soul searching that they were doing over the past week, and they're probably more invigorated now. I know Shagabe's got a lot of friends that are playing in North Dakota, grew up cheering for North Dakota, so he wants to beat them and make it a point to everybody that he made the right decision and where he went. So really looking forward to that one. That one is probably the premier game of the weekend in the nation. It's the 2 highest ranked teams facing off against each other outside of the Big Ten, but we'll get there in just a sec. So and then the last couple games to cover the Beanpot. I feel like I would be hypocritical if I didn't cover what many think is the biggest tournament in the country, which I disagree with, but BC beats Harvard 5-1. BU beat Northwestern 2-2 tie going in, and then BU wins. So their championship will be next Monday. It'll be the 300th meeting overall between those 2 teams. So really excited to see how that one pans out. Not really. BC's going to kill them. BU's irrelevant this year.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame compared to what they've been, the last
exactly.
few years.
It does feel right when it is those 2 in the championship game. Northeastern. Why do I keep saying Northwestern? My God, football.
Bobcats.
Northeastern has owned that tournament in the last, we'll just say 4 or 5 years. I think they won 3 of them. But it's back to BC, BU, and the teams that matter there.
Yeah.
The poll is the poll. I'm not going to go through that. I normally do. But let's just talk about the NPI, which is what really matters now. Previously, for those that haven't been paying attention, the pairwise, that's out. NPI is in this year. Michigan State, they are facing off. Obviously, that is the number 1 overall, rankings team or rankings matchup in the country. I think both of them do deserve all the accolades. Michigan is the best offensive team top to bottom in the country, and Michigan State is the most complete team in the country, we'll say. And that has a lot to do with Trey Augustine and net there and what he kind of brings to that program. That will be a fun one. I think they split. It's a Big Ten. They always split. North Dakota, Western Michigan, UMD, and Denver are all in the top 12. They are probably all going to make the tournament. Denver is actually the lowest there at 11. The rest of them have a pretty good odds. If they go 500 the rest of the year, they're almost guaranteed a spot. In fact, they are guaranteed a spot just based on strength of schedule. So looking forward to having another 4 teams in the tournament at the end of the year again. All is right in the world when the NCHC has that. And then you get into some of the other ones. Dartmouth has been on an absolute slide since they started the year. I've touted their fraudulent nature on this program and everything else from the beginning. I think they started 11-0. They are now 16-6-1. And at 10 in the NPI, and it's only going to get worse depending on how many more losses they pick up, just because the ECAC doesn't have much for competition. Quinnipiac and Cornell being the kind of exceptions to that rule. They are both in the top 15 there as well. What I wanted to talk about more than anything, which is crazy because I never want to bring it up, is the CCHA. They actually have some representation in the NPI and the rankings right now. St. Thomas, Augustana, Minnesota State are basically your big names, with Michigan Tech kind of lingering and making a late push right now for making an at-large bid to the tournament rather than just one of them making it in as the conference champion. So St. Thomas and Augustana are currently 13 and 15, so they are right in that range that kind of gets knocked out with more and more random conference champions that didn't earn an at-large bid. So they will have to continue winning in order to make it above what I consider the fake cut line, just below 12 there.
Good for St. Thomas, man. I remember their first year being D1. I went to the game at Hockey Day where it was them and Mankato, and they looked like a club hockey team. So to hear that they're even ranked in NPI is, pretty great for
big.
5 years.
Yeah, they've got a lot of really good talent on their team. It does suck for the CCHA that they are leaving next year and joining the NCHC, because I think their trajectory is one that a lot of other people are trying to mimic.
Yeah.
The new arena looks great. Too bad they can't get any fans to come and show up for hockey games. It's kind of a shame to
spend the money first, figure out how to make it second. That's what happens.
Yeah,
a rich school.
There's a lot of people not making fun of them, but criticizing them for not allowing beer or alcohol on the lower level, kind of where the students all are.
Yeah, what is this? The yacht club?
Yeah, so it's like that's as part of it is due to that. A lot of people are saying it's due to the J term and them not having classes or anything still, and I'm like, okay, well, what were they doing in November? What was your excuse then when you had this brand new arena and St. Thomas was still, doing pretty well?
It's also St. Paul. It's a very populated area. You can't blame J term.
Correct.
It's a city with, whatever 100,000 people, and then next to it is Minneapolis with however many hundreds of thousands of people, and then a ton of suburbs with a few 100,000 more people.
Yeah. The problem I think that they're having right now is that it is so walkable for like a really good chunk of like dense neighborhoods in that area, but those people that live there are still bitter about the arena being built, one, but the parking and the increased activity that they're just refusing to go to games right now. Give it 5 years, they'll all be walking to games. It'll be great. Yeah. So it's just a bump in the road for the time being. And when they join the NCHC, plenty of UMD fans, plenty of St. Cloud fans, plenty
North
of
Dakota
other people
fans
who are close enough to come and pack it. Like North Dakota fans, they're going to show up and they're going to be like, oh, only half of us can go to this game because the arena's not big enough.
Right.
But
right. Yeah. No, I mean, admittedly, I'm someone who lives in St. Paul and I haven't been to a game there yet. The facility looks sick. I got to get there. It's just need to find the right
facility's great. The other mark against it that I have, and this has nothing to do with the crowd in general, is they put the press box on one, instead of being at center ice up high, it's on one end of the ice. So when action is on the other side, you've got no view of it whatsoever.
That'd be a pain in the ass.
Dude, it's brutal. I don't know why they did that. But
even being a casual drunk fan trying to pay attention to hockey, sitting behind one of the goalies is hard.
It's tough, yeah. I'll just go quick here. I know I'm going over my allotted time for college hockey. National scoring leaders, we'll just do top 7, and there's 15 names for the top 7 just from ties. Ethan Wittenbach is number 1, technically 41
like
points.
Person.
Yeah, he plays for Quinnipiac. He's probably 60. Max Plant is number 2 as a sophomore, and then you get into a 4-way tie for 3. You know what? I'm not going to read all these guys, but suffice it to say, your Holby Baker winner or your Holby Baker nominations are going to come from, your Max Plant, your Cruz Lucius, and Bennett Shimmick from Arizona State. TJ Hughes from Michigan, another Hughes that you just have to keep your name or keep in the front of your brain.
Related?
Zam Plant.
Cousin?
I don't know if it's first cousin or not, but I would imagine it has to be. But
yeah.
Strammel is in there as well, and then Michael Hage for Michigan. So one of those people are going to win the Hobie Baker. I hope it's Max Plant. I hope he's able to kind of figure out what's going on with the scoring. Zam and Jason Shagabe are incredible. Shagabe has more assists than anybody in the country right now, tied with Zam technically. Nope, he's got more than Zam, 26 assists. So it's going to be a fun finish to the year. Keep those names at the front of your brain there and look out for them when you see them. Bad week for game matchups, as I had already mentioned. Dartmouth needs to win to keep or prevent their slide. BU season is lost. They go up to Maine. They're going to get blown out there. We already talked about North Dakota. We already talked about Michigan State. Wisconsin, we already told how much they suck in 2026. The biggest one, I should say, I should have mentioned this. I skipped our rankings talk. Miami. The Miami Redhawks are ranked again for the first time in, I think, 6 or 7 years. Unfortunately, they have to go play Western Michigan. So they fought and they earned a spot. I think they are 20 in the polls right now. They're going to lose both games and then have to fall out. But it's a testament to how they've kind of built that program. Anthony Noreen down there doing a great job. And I'm excited to see them be relevant again, because losses to Miami previously were an NPI, formerly Pairwise Killer. Now it doesn't matter because they're a good team and losses just don't kill you as much. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I've got for college hockey. There's some other games that could preview here, but I'm not going 100 miles an hour anymore.
Well done. He's learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Boss Man and I are going to be streaming Fridays UND versus UMD.
Correct.
Game. Veach, you're absolutely invited. I would love for you to come.
Mason's going to be here too, and we're going to do an all-day bar bet again.
Okay, I like it.
I would love to be there. I've got a fishing cabin trip. I'll be up in the Pequot Lakes area, so I'll tune in though. I'll be in the chat. Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can get one more dog. I can see if Johnson.
You gotta get Johnson to come
because I can't have 2-on-1 battle. Because especially when we don't have our number one goalie, I don't like that. But whatever. Let's get into wild takes, guys.
Hole in the middle of us. Yep. All right, let's get on to the wild take. What do we got from? Let's start with you, Sarge.
All right. I was trying to think of something. This whole show, and I think I finally got it. Canada is not going to get a medal.
Oh,
not a
single medal in the whole Olympics?
They're going to blow it because the goaltending. Their goaltending is going to suck. They're going to blow it, and we're going to have an easy run to a gold medal. That's my wild take.
Nice.
That's the best I could think of.
That is wild.
I'm right.
I'm thinking of a bet I want to make with you about this. But
No. I this is just I'm pulling this out of my ass.
I mean, that is by far their biggest flaw. Like they don't have a single goalie. I mean, Bennington does elevate his play in big games, and you could compare a meaningless regular season to something as important as the Olympics, and he could just flip that switch. But also, he has not done anything this year that proves he's even capable of winning anything. So, I mean, the fucking guy doesn't even skate to the bench when he gets pulled. That's how much he doesn't listen to coaches and all that other stuff. So, I don't hate it, Sarge. As a homer, sitting here wearing a USA jersey, I would love if you're right.
Yeah, certainly a wild take.
It is a wild take.
Yeah. Veach, what do you got for us?
This is one I posted online a couple days ago, and I think I put it in our group chat here as well. I think the Minnesota Wild are going to get the 2 seed in the West, and they're going to do it with under 30 wins in regulation. I think they're sitting at 21 right now. Based on the clip that they're going at, it'll be right at that border, and it is going to get a lot tougher in the second half of the season here. So I don't think that overtime rate is going to go down at all. So they're going to keep winning, and they're going to do it in overtime. But yeah, number 2 seed in the West, under 30 regulation wins.
Okay.
I'll say 30 or fewer.
I wonder if a team has ever gotten that high of a seed with 30 or fewer regulation.
I doubt it.
Wins.
It's actually insane what the Wild are doing right now.
Yeah.
Like it's wild.
It is concerning from a standpoint though of like you don't get 3-on-3 and shootouts in the playoffs. So it's a whole different ball game. All right, my wild take, I actually revealed it earlier in the show, is that Quinn Hughes will play on the same defensive pair as Brock Faber in the tournament as either the first or second pair. Billy G being the GM, totally non-biased, is going to put them together, keep the chemistry going, have that roll confidently from a gold medal into the playoffs, into the final stretch of the season, keep those two boys together, see what they can do to win our nation a gold medal. I would love to see that.
I think that it's a great move. It would be a very savvy move by Bill if he can convince everybody that is the right play, because if they're getting the opportunity to continue playing for those 2+ weeks together and not losing any of that communication that other people are going to have to kind of readjust to, they can come out of the gate swinging, and they're going to need to because they play the Avs right as soon as they get back.
Right. Yeah, that could. And here's another wild take if you want a real wild one. What if we win the fucking Central and we get the first seed in the Western Conference? I mean, it's not completely unattainable. I think we're like 5 points back, and they have a couple games in hand. But if you win that game the first day after the break, that's a 2-point swing. If you win it in reg,
You're right. 5. They have 3 games in hand, but yeah, you're 5 points back.
their schedule is going to be truncated to the max, though, that last month. They're going to have a lot of back-to-backs. Could see some of those fellas getting banged up, tired. Could go on a little bit of a losing streak, and the Wild could slip in, get that first seed, play, I guess, the Kings, it's looking like, or the Ducks looking like they're going to be the second wild card spot.
Yeah, the other stat that I saw that it was very maybe not disheartening.
Seattle is the second wild card.
Fuck, I don't care. I'd take them or the Ducks.
Or
do a
Utah.
gentleman's sweep.
Utah and Seattle are a point away. Oh, well, Anaheim's right there, so they're all within 2 points of each other.
Yeah, the frustrating stat that I had heard was, and maybe it was Joe Smith, I don't remember who had actually said it. If the Wild went even 500 in October, when they went like 3-11 or something horrendous, if they were 500 in October, they would have the first seed they would be number 1 in the NHL right now. But
crazy.
They didn't.
It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, and it just proves too, like, bringing in one guy like Quinn Hughes and how that's transformed the entire roster. It's bananas.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, that just about does it. Oh, yeah. Also, guys, we got these hats. People are buying the shit out of them. We appreciate it. These Minnesota State of Hockey Pride hats on our website, 10ktakesmn.com. There's one of the green ones left, or 2 of them left, I think, and then those ones are gone. But plenty of the black ones, and then I believe 4 of these 97 throwback hats. We're only making these one time because these jerseys will most likely only be a one-time thing, so get one of those now, 10ktakesmn.com. And also, folks, keep drinking Captain's Patch at the games. There's a ton of people who have been drinking them, posting stories of them drinking them and telling us that they love it, so we appreciate all the support as always. Section 105, 115, and C13. But, folks,